Hi there, this is Christoph, and I'd like to show a quick demo of the new Bitcoin UI Kit plugin that was just published 2 days ago. And we already have 3 users. One of them is the Figma moderation kit that made sure that this actually works before approving it. Thank you for verifying that. So this is a companion plugin to the main Bitcoin UI Kit file, which is also published on Figma community. So as you may know, this is the Bitcoin UI Kit file. It includes everything you need for a UI kit or a design system, colors, tons of icons, typography, all kinds of different components that you need to construct interfaces. And then it has a 200 to 300, I forgot the count, of actual realistic screen mockups and user flows. So if you want to design a flow for sending Bitcoin, for example, you have everything that you need with tons of best practices baked in. Lots of these screens. If you look below here, there are also explanations and flow information, and then links to the Bitcoin design guide if you'd like to read more about the design decisions on there. Now, as you can tell, this is a pretty big system. So in order to make it a little bit easier to work with, I created this plugin. So I'm going to start the plugin here real quick. I'll go to my plugins button here, go to plugins, search for Bitcoin UI Kit. All right, still picks the one that I have in development here. I'm going to use the published version. Let's use that one. Now it's loading this, and I see this little box here. Now let's take a look at the options. The first one is actually the most fun one. So previously the UI kit included a light mode and a dark mode, and now that has expanded a bit. Now there's a system called themes. So on this themes page here, then if you're not on this page, you can just press the apply theme button and it will take you there. Now what we see here is sample screens and then a few different theme options. The sample screens are for previewing the theme options that you can then apply. There's an explanation here on the left as well, but basically how it works, each of these boxes here, the ones that start with this little palette emoji, if I select one and then apply theme, that will get applied across the whole file. So let's say right now the default light mode, this color palette here is applied. I want to switch to the dark mode. I select this and I click apply theme. And now you can see everything has changed, all the colors. This basically takes the color definitions in here and applies them to my color styles here that are available in the whole system, and also updates the background to match. So if I go to any other screen here, you can see everything has been changed. Okay, there are also some other options here. I would love to expand these palettes if you have ideas for different color palettes. There's some examples here, like this dark one that uses more of a golden tone, where also the colors are a little bit shifted more towards a golden tone. You can tell it feels a little bit differently. Also in the light mode version of this one, the colors don't go all the way to black, but they always have a little bit of a golden tint to them. So just different preference. Let's go back to, let's just stay here. Now let's try our second box here. I can apply different typography. So any text field in this whole file, all the thousands of them, have some of these have a text style applied. So we can then very easily update them if, let's say, we prefer different default fonts. So I'm just going to pick this little box here that uses Anton as the header font and WorkSense as the body font. Then I'll go up here, let's hide the UI, and then I'm going to apply a theme. And you can see how all text fields will have this updated, and because everything uses auto layout too, if the text now flows a little bit differently or is a little bit taller, all the layouts also adjust accordingly. So you don't need to manually fix any broken layouts. That's all baked in. So here on the home page, you can really, or the home screen, you can really kind of see the difference in this font. Or let's say I want to get a little bit more of an expressive font here that's all capitalized. I can apply this as well. And because this updates thousands of text styles across this huge file, it gets a little bit laggy there for a second. So let's apply our dark theme again. And then there's one more option in here, which is called button style, which is more of a example of how components can also be applied with these themes that I would like to explore more. So by default, the buttons are slightly rounded. Let's say I want to have a pill-shaped button. I can also just do this with a single click, and you can see the update happening here. And there's a lot more that can be done here with the system that would be great to explore over time. So, coming from the default screen or style of the UI kit, now you can already see it looks quite a bit different. And then you can always, as a designer, bring your own styling preference on top of these. So it should be a good foundation. And the good thing is, nothing is destructive here. I can very easily just go back to the default with just a handful of clicks. Now I'm back to where I started. Now let's take a look at some other of these helper tools here. So there's one called Find Unstyled Text that checks all text fields on the current screen and finds ones that don't have text styles applied. This is important to keep your design system or keep the file organized, because as you've seen, you want everything to be tied to a text style so they can be easily modified later. It also helps the developers who implement this in the end. So here you can you get a list of all text fields that don't have text styles. These are very intentionally don't have them because they're just these different typographic visuals. And then the little number on the right says what font size it is. With Shift, you can select multiple at the same time. And then if, let's say, I wanted to assign a simple text style to them, I could just do that very easily. So that's a helper for cleaning your file organized. The same with this one here. So this is Find Instances. So if you have a component, or let's just say, let me just pick one here. I'm going to go to Form Elements here, and I want to find all instances of this toggle button. There's currently no way that that Figma provides me where I can see where this is all used. So this is what this tool allows for. I can still find instances, and then I can quickly navigate and I can see how often this has been used across all pages in this document. So it's pretty useful that way. Then component insides is that's an interesting one. I'm going to go to another file here, and I'm gonna run it from here. So this takes a moment. So if you work a lot with components, you will come into a situation where you sometimes recreate or switch out components, and that leaves you in a situation where you might have instances of old components floating around where the main component is actually not, it was deleted for some reason. It happens a lot when multiple designers work in a file. You might also have situations where someone copied a component or from another file. So the main component is the other file, but the instances of that component are in your file. Problem is that if someone edits that component in the other file, those changes will also make it to your file. So you're kind of losing control there, and you don't really want that with a clean system. So component insights basically also analyzes everything. So here I can tell, these illustrations of code card here, it says restore component because the component has been deleted. That's what this red little dot indicates. And then for the blue dots, that means, what does the blue one mean? Yes, that the main component is actually in another file. So what I should be doing here is bring this other component, the main component, into my file and then update what this is an instance from. That has saved me hours and hours and hours in managing design systems, and gives me the assurance that this is a nice, clean system here. Then we have two links, one to the UI kit and one to the Bitcoin Design Guide. Those are just links to those websites. And the last one is a prep website export that is a little bit more for admins. So what I did on the Bitcoin UI Kit website, there's a list of all these different screens here. So what this one actually does, I'll just let it run real quick just for fun. It goes through, it captures all of these screens with the information below, gets them ready for export on a new page, and also creates a JSON file with all that data. And then I can just simply click the export button. So here you can see it created a new page called Screens for Export. It put all the screens that I need on here across the whole file. And then it created this JSON file that describes each of those screens. It also analyzed all text fields in that screen and puts the text in the JSON that allows for searching the content of those screens on the website. It's just, this is really more of an admin thing more than anything else. So that is the first version of this Bitcoin UI Kit plugin. Apply theme will probably be the most useful for designers. The other ones are helpful for, I think mostly for designers who work on design systems that go into development, or work closely with developers potentially, where the design system needs to be very clean and organized. And then we have a few helpers here at the bottom. So that's it. I'd love to get your feedback on what else we could add here, both to the themes and also any other features you might have in there. I've had some ideas like allowing you to format Bitcoin amounts, which is often kind of a tricky topic, like sats versus Bitcoin across different locales, and maybe one for creating QR codes. There might be other Bitcoin specific things that we could sneak in here. Love to hear, and otherwise hope this is a helpful tool for you. Thanks.